Hello and welcome everyone to today's commodity report for the 22nd of November 2018, presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. Today we will of course be reviewing gold and oil. Before we go over to the charts, we'll have a look at the major narratives in the market at the moment. Yesterday, of course, with crude oil, we had the US inventories data, and with that we saw another increase, with US inventories swelling to their highest level since December, adding to concerns about a global supply glut. In fact, oil prices over the last 6 weeks have now declined 30%. That's with US oil dropping from $76 per barrel all the way down to $53 per barrel. We are getting support at $53 to $54 per barrel on the anticipation that OPEC may cut output at the next meeting on Monday the 3rd of December. Today we've also seen some movement here with gold prices creeping higher back towards 2-week highs, helped by an easing dollar and also weakness in the global financial markets. So with that, we'll move over to the charts and we'll talk you through the key levels that we're looking at next. Firstly, moving over to oil, currently trading at $54 per barrel. You will note that US oil did spike yesterday after the US oil inventories data. We essentially saw an increase and a swell in US inventories. However, there was a drawdown on the distillates and the gasoline inventories, which helped to propel oil higher yesterday. But what may have occurred here is very simply retracing back towards a previous level of support, turning into resistance, and now we're seeing the price start to roll over again here. So you'll note where we've rallied back towards $55.70 per barrel, found resistance in that zone, which also happens to be resistance going back to November of 2017, and at the moment oil is treading water around $54 per barrel, and until we can actually get a break and a close back above $57 per barrel, the trend is still very much down, and any rallies are being taken as sell short opportunities at the moment. And that was very evident at the beginning of this week, where we saw a retracement back towards a monthly pivot, and that essentially set up for a bear flag setup, where we saw a lot of volume come back into oil to the downside, and essentially over a 7% move on Tuesday, moving US oil lower by 450 points or $4.50 per barrel, until finding support just above $52. So right now with oil, it is still vulnerable to more downside until we do actually get closer to the OPEC meeting on Monday the 3rd of December. You can see here even yesterday's retracement is looking a bit vulnerable here, and certainly if we were to roll over again and break back below the weekly low, the next key level that I would target would be approximately $51 per barrel, and of course below that we have very key support which resides at $50, which would be a very psychological area of support as well. Oil tends to move very well off those key round numbers such as $55, $50 and so forth. So US oil at the moment still looks a bit vulnerable. Rallies are being sold into, but we do have a major news item which is not too far off now at the beginning of December, the OPEC meeting, and of course all eyes will turn to whether OPEC will cut production, and that could of course be a major catalyst for the next big move here for US oil. Now moving over to gold, currently trading at $1,227 per ounce. It has been quite a tight range on gold this week. We've only moved approximately from the lows to the highs just over 100 points. At the moment gold is at the upper end of the range, so we're at the 2-week highs at the moment. We do still have a buy signal here on gold, but I'm looking at relatively limited upside, so between approximately 1,230 up to $1,235 per ounce in the short term. But overall, gold is looking fairly well supported, especially on higher time frames at the moment as well. We have broken back above last week's highs. We're picking up some momentum, although it's a fairly slow grind at the moment. Overall positioning with gold right now has been in favor of the bulls here, and I would be looking for the potential for gold to retest $1,230 per ounce. On the flip side of that, what I would bear in mind is that as we head into December, particularly the first 2 weeks of December, it is normally a bearish period for gold prices, especially as we get closer to the FOMC statement on Wednesday the 19th of December, and the anticipation is that the Fed will increase interest rates, and often what that does do is put pressure on gold heading into December, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a correction as we move into December. But short term, the momentum is bullish, and we may well move back towards $1,230 per ounce or slightly higher than that in the short term, as long as the US dollar continues to be under a bit of pressure over the course of this week. In terms of sell short targets, as gold is finding a bit of resistance at the moment at $1,227 US per ounce. And I know that silver is also consolidating just around the 50-day moving average and the monthly pivot as well. It's been a reasonable move this week for silver, but both seem to be running out of a bit of steam at the moment, both gold and silver. So if we were to roll over, the next major levels that I would look at here, and we may not get that much volatility due to it being Thanksgiving and Black Friday tomorrow as well, but if we were to roll over, I would look at the next major level of support coming in at $1,220, and then below that at $1,215. But at the moment, certainly the best way to really take advantage of these moves with gold is trading the tighter ranges. So essentially buying at support zones and then taking profit at resistance zones whilst we remain at the 2-week highs. And of course, if you'd like to find out more about the exact trades that we're taking at the Gold and Silver Club in real time, and if you'd like to join our community of successful traders, there's an opportunity for you to join us on our private members live trading room. As a member, you get access to live trade alerts, and those are delivered via WhatsApp, email and SMS. You have access to mentorship, expert advice, in-depth market analysis and trusted insights so you can know earlier how to act quicker and maximize your return on every trade opportunity. For more information about the service, please go to www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. The link is also below this report in the description. So just click on the link, make an application, and we will get in touch with you ASAP. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way, you're kept updated with the latest commodity reports.